Okay.
So we're recording, and don't worry, remember I can chop this up. So,
Okay, chop this part. Okay. All
all
right.
right, everybody ready?
Yes.
All right.
Hey, ladies.
Hey,
Hey,
Oh, I am so excited. We are here at the
we are
heart
here.
of chat. Isn't this awesome?
yeah.
Our very first episode, ladies. This is amazing. This podcast, how it came about, just super, super excited. And to our listeners, thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to tell you, this is amazing. I mean, Shauna, do you want to say anything, Jeanette, who we are, why we're in this space? I mean, I can go on all day. It has just been an amazing ride and how we got here.
Well, we just landed together, like seriously, we've had online connections for the last few years together, right? We live
Hmm.
in three different states, and this year, 2020, ladies, wow, we came in thinking we're going to develop this master plan, come together to elevate ourselves, help us reach our goals, be accountable to each other. And lo and behold, quarantine came.
Man, just swamp
Sure
all the
did.
plans.
We even had a DC,
Mm,
Maryland
mm,
trip
mm.
planned, ladies and gentlemen. And we were so ecstatic. We were going to have kind of like a girls' weekend and just chill and unwind. And when quarantine hit, we were trying to figure out a way of how to keep our bond going. We didn't want to lose connection. We saw all the noise going on social media, and we were like, "Ooh, okay, we're used to being with each other on a regular basis. How do we continue this?" So Jeanette suggested that we got on Marco Polo, which I've never been
Yes,
on
which
Marco
has
Polo
been
before.
amazing.
I've never been on that
It's
platform.
super amazing. I
It's
love it.
because I'm the worst at responding to
Mm.
messages, so text messages. I'm like, oh, I can record a video real quick, but you want me to
That's
respond to a
cool.
text message? I'd be like, oh, I got to read all of this.
That is cool. I love Marco Polo. My kids, we used to use it back in the day. I mean, I say back in the day, right? 2014. Come on, Linda. Like, yeah. But that's back in the day nowadays. I mean,
Yeah,
even
Exactly.
right.
when you hear on the radio, they're like, oh, we're going to play this song. It's a throwback. It's from like 2015. I'd be like,
Like, what
seriously?
is this?
I'm like, what are we doing here? But yeah, so definitely, yeah. So I think I'm Linda Mallory from the DMV, y'all. I know we were talking, we're like trailblazing ahead of this thing, but yes, from the DMV, love it. I live right outside of DC and very cool. Been living here for a number of years. I'm an original Northeast New Jersey, East Orange
Jersey.
girl. Yes,
Yes.
so I still relate to that. Even though all of us have sort of moved all over the country, it's just been amazing. I love going back there. So lots and lots of fun, but definitely happy to be here with these ladies. Just wonderful, and our connections have just been great. 2020, all like Shauna said, all these plans. They say the best laid plans, right? Ah, the
Yeah.
best laid plans was where we are right now. That's what I say to
Exactly.
that. So,
Exactly.
Hmm.
yeah,
Exactly.
just
So,
very, yep. And, we're here, like I said earlier, just to, bring you inspiration, talk about our life stories, share bits and pieces of our lives, all of our lives,
yeah.
kind of get a view into what our heart is. And here we are. Welcome to the Heart of Chat.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
So our topics, I mean, we're going to talk about some of everything. So we're going to talk about relationships, whether it be relationships at work, personal relationships, marriage, divorce, whatever it might be, love and happiness. Really, that's sort of a passion of mine. I write about that a lot on my blog, and you'll hear more about that as we go along. Life and randomness. I love that. That's one of
That's gonna
Jeanette's
be the
favorite things.
best.
Look, Jeanette is like, yes, that's me. That's me. Um,
Mm-mm.
our Trailblazer series. So the Trailblazer series is one that I'm super excited about. I'm excited about all these, but this is one where we highlight folks who are doing the darn thing, whether it be
Yes.
online, whether it be in their different spaces, whether it be in their communities. We definitely want to highlight some folks here in this space and folks that we have looked up to, come up with, and people that we admire. So the Pursuit of Your Passion series, love this one too. Like, I mean, I have like what's considered a day job. I'm in the IT field, but this just brings me life, right? Doing these kinds of things, writing, helping
Hmm.
people in this space, entertainment chats. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
this
definitely
all you,
that's
Linda. Linda's like, yep.
I'm like,
That's
look,
me.
so why is this one typed in bold? I'm like, okay, why is this one like jumping off the page? Like entertainment chats, like one of my things here, TV shows, movies, I could go on all day. A
Yes.
lot of folks call me the movie buff, the TV queen, like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
what's coming on tonight? I'm a walking TV guide in some cases. So the
Mhm.
tea for today, ooh, another one of mine. I love this one too. And we all got the tea, so that's good. And then last but not least, and of course these topics will branch off of each other. We're gonna have a Hey Maddie series. So Maddie is my 12-year-old daughter. And
Yes.
she's had a YouTube channel, Marco Polo, before I even know what any of that stuff was. So she has
Mhm.
been on top of it, and she's going to come in at times and help us out and kick it with us. So I'm
Yes.
going
That's
to enjoy
We
that
awesome.
love
too.
Maddie.
Oh,
Hey,
thank you.
Maddie.
We are so excited about it.
Yeah, so excited. So thank you, ladies, for allowing her this space. I think we lead by example and showing our our young ones, what we do, and they see us in action, and I love it. And we want to continue to be those examples.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Maddie made her debut in a Marco Polo, so we had to bring her in.
Mhm. Mhm.
She did doing flips and stuff, and yeah, it's
Mhm.
really a lot of fun.
Well, I just wanted to real quick because I know I'm like, who is this other random voice on here? So Lynda gave y'all a little bit about herself. It's so funny, ladies. We're all from the city. I just realized that. Lynda's from
Hmm.
Jersey, Shauna's from Cleveland. I grew up in Philly. I live in the South now, but I will always and forever rep Philadelphia. Go Eagles. That's my home. Get in arguments every day with Cowboys fans. So
Yes,
it's whatever.
Cowboy fan here, even though I'm from Jersey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shauna, do you want to tell me a little bit more about yourself as well?
Oh yeah, sure. So I'm hailing out of Cleveland, the CLE, and yeah, I'm a mom. Woof. Just done a lot in Cleveland. 25 years, over 25 years experience as an early childhood specialist. So children and families and empowering families across the world is my thing. I'm very global minded, grew up in a global minded uh, home. And so I have a serious travel life that I'm not willing to give up for nothing. Quarantine has quarantine beat me out for a minute. I'm gonna sit still just
Just
for a
put you
minute.
down.
I'm gonna
Hmm.
sit down for a minute, but I'll tell you, as soon as they say go, yeah, I'm on the first thing. First plane,
She
first
gonna be
jet.
like, "What's that show? Where in the world is Carmen San Diego?" We're gonna be looking
Oh
for you.
yes, I used
Yeah,
to love that.
yeah, yeah. My family called me daughter the explorer.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome,
Yeah,
awesome.
yes, yes.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, ladies, yeah, we can definitely get into how we got here. How did we get here? I think we've touched on it a few times
Yeah.
throughout this so far, but how did we get here? I mean, yeah, it's just been a great journey.
So, one thing we didn't mention is that we all have our own individual businesses, and I think our pursuit of finding our thing that we wanted to do or expanding and growing, because I feel like Shauna's been like doing her thing for some years
Yeah,
now. She was just like,
yes.
I'm just trying to get to the next level. Where I need to find some people to help me. But yeah, I think the exploration of us like really trying to find like what our passion is. I know like Lynda, I come from a corporate background, and
Hmm.
thank God recently left corporate like December. The best thing ever that happened to me. Um, but yeah, I think it starts there. And we all met through different groups.
Yeah, we
That's when
did.
Facebook groups were popping. Like everybody
Uh-huh.
wanted to be in Facebook
Yes, yes.
groups.
Yeah, the Facebook groups back in the day, and I keep using that. Stop
Back
doing
in the
that. Back in
day.
the day. Yes,
Right.
hashtag. Yeah, the Facebook, and it's so funny how we all met. I mean, people are probably wondering too about how we connected the dots
Right.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I think I was in a group with Shauna,
Yeah. A
and
couple of them.
then we were in a lot of Facebook
Yeah.
groups together.
Oh
Four
And
wow.
years
then
ago.
yeah, and then I met Jeanette in one of the groups, Siobhan of the Be Free Project. I mean, she'll be
Mm-hmm.
featured on here in our Trailblazer series coming up in a few weeks. But yeah, I
Yay.
mean, that's how I met Jeanette. And then we just kind of started to come together. I said,
Yeah.
Shauna, this lady is in your backyard. She
All
is in
right.
Cleveland, like right here in your city. Let's
Exactly.
come on over.
Yeah.
And
So
so then, yeah, we did that. And that was amazing. And then the three of us just sort of came together. So Shauna and Jeanette, do you want to talk about how you all sort of got together too?
It
You
was
that
kind of,
connection point.
yeah, it was like you was like, I have a friend, see, because I was going to revamp my blog. I started off
Mm-hmm.
blogging and YouTubing, and I really wanted a one-stop shop. I wanted a website that defined eNanny Link as my brand, which encompasses all comprehensive tools for families and children across the world. It's an online brand that I developed in order to reach families around the world. And was speaking to Lynda about, I got to get off of this. WordPress is so
Mm.
difficult. It's hard. I'm not I can't do this. And so I saw some other folks' platform, and I was falling in love with the Squarespace platform space. And that's when Lynda let me know that, Jeanette, she just added web design to her brand. And I'm like, what? And so Jeanette is an outstanding photographer, ladies and gentlemen. So
Yes, yes.
she had photography, she had the web design, and at the time, my late husband said, she's really good. You should just get everything done with her. Get your photos done, get your web
Mm-hmm.
design with her. I'm like, she's in South Carolina. He said, well, then we got a road trip to do then.
You just
So
said you all about to
Yes,
travel.
yes,
yeah.
yes.
And so we got in the car, we took our little dog, Mia, and we had a road trip. And when I tell you that Jeanette laid the red carpet out for me, I felt like a star. Yeah, it was a great
Aw,
time. Yeah, it was a
I'm
great
glad you
time. So
enjoyed it.
Yes.
It was really cool. I remember. So me and Linda start when we met in the Be Free group. We were invited by another young lady named Erica to be in an accountability group together, and I just remember like it was photography, and I was moving towards web design. And look, let me tell you something. If you got something that you're working on, you got to tell people, because as
Mm-hmm.
soon as I
Mm-hmm.
said it out of my mouth, I know somebody.
Right.
I was like, okay.
Exactly. And that was just the coolest. And then I think maybe 6 months before that, Jeanette and I met in person in Raleigh, North Carolina
Yes.
for an event rather by Siobhan of Be Free Project and Alicia of Living
The
Over Existing,
LOE.
the
Mhm.
LOE. And that was just so cool. And I think recently, Jeanette, on our Instagram page, I think on Twitter also, at the Heart of Chat,
Ah.
yes, you posted these beautiful pictures and wonderful art of us, and how I think you did a story as well of how
Mhm.
we know each other, we see each other online and such, but the three of us have not met in
In
person yet.
person together. Yeah.
Together.
Linda
Yes.
and Shauna have been together. Me
Yes.
and
yeah,
Linda, me and
Yes.
Shauna. But
Yes.
yeah,
yeah.
It's just
three
so,
of
yeah. So
So
that's
our
a little
plan,
known fact.
that
Yeah.
was the plan though for
Hmm.
DC, right?
It
Before
was.
Yeah.
quarantine, the plan was
Yes.
for the three of us to be together. So I met
Hmm.
Jeanette. I've actually met Jeanette twice now
Yeah.
because I have a
Hmm.
second website that I've been doing for Jeanette.
But I
Yes.
traveled to you this time. I came to
And she came
Yes.
to
Cleveland.
Yes.
Cleveland this
Oh,
time,
it's
and we did
amazing.
photo shoots, and we also did a second website that just launched last week. So beautiful.
Awesome.
Oh man, love it. And Linda and we've only met one time, and we knew each
Yeah.
other the longest out of the.
Hmm.
I know her
Mm-hmm.
longer than Jeanette, and we met last July in
Last July.
Cleveland. You
Yes, in
came to
Cleveland.
Cleveland, and
Hmm.
so our goal was 2020. All three of us have to be at the
In the
same
Yes.
same
city
place.
at the same time, and we need to hang out.
Right.
You know,
Exactly. We
because
had it all planned. Oh, we
Yes.
were going to hook up in Tyson's Corner, Virginia, one of my favorite spots here in the
Oh,
DMV, and it was going to be super amazing. But I still think what we've created during this time has really, really brought us together even more so. Would love to hang out, would
yeah,
love to do
quarantine was
more.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
From that aspect, amazing. Just the connections and all the things that we have set out to do. So super,
yeah.
super, super happy about that.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. And so I know a lot of things have happened during quarantine, and a lot of people are just like, it's like I feel like it's two different mentalities right now for quarantine. There's the one that's just like, oh, well, if you don't come out of quarantine on, 45,000 with all these new businesses, and you didn't do nothing with your quarantine life. And then there's the other ones is like, look, I'm just trying to chill, reconnect with my family and friends, and
Right.
get some rest in that I wasn't able to get. But I feel like for us, it was really about and being intentional about like developing our connection and our relationship. How do you feel quarantine has helped us collectively, individually?
Especially with the Marco Polos, I think is where it all started at, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we were using Marco Polo actually as an accountability space to wake up every day and say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I got ABCD to do today. I'm going to come back on here tonight and let you know that I got ABCD done. You know,
Right. Exactly.
it
Yes.
started off like that. It started off as just being an additional piece to our mastermind group. And then it started evolving and we started getting into some really deep conversations. And I mean, one day I broke out with a microphone and was singing on there and let them know that I love karaoke.
Oh my God,
yes, that was
Know this
hilarious. I was
about
like,
me.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I find this video, I might have to download
we're gonna have to post it.
and
She had
post
the
that
curtain.
video.
I mean, she had the curtain. She just slid on the hardwood floors out of nowhere. I mean, I was like, what?
I got my mic. She turned it on. We
I said, she had the light
compliments
on in
all
the
the time.
background. I said, well, dang, I need me one of them lights.
It just became like so close and personal. And I feel like I honestly feel like if we didn't have the quarantine, we would still have our weekly mastermind meetings. But I don't think the connection and the love that we developed for each other would have been accelerated like it did during quarantine, because as Jeanette mentioned before, we were intentional about keeping those great souls around us during one of the hardest times that we all experienced in this world together. And for me, that was vital. I already do that in my real life, so I definitely wanted to make sure I did that online as well, especially when it got noisy. Because I had there were a lot of people reaching out to me that I was like, wait a minute, hold on, I'm in survival mode right now. I gotta fill my cup and I gotta have positive vibes around me.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
Lynda, what about you? How do you feel this
Oh, I think for me, So for me, I think I already consider myself an organized person because, I was getting up at 5 every day going into the office. So since, most of my organization, the ones that can, we're working from home right now. I think it just caused me to be more organized and kind of get stuff together at home. I have a 19-year-old son as well, and he came home from college when this quarantine first hit. And I think, just being in that space, trying to, deal with the kids and all that, I felt like, I got to get rid of this clutter. So for me, if nothing else, it was that. And I feel like even though I still, work in the whole corporate space and the hours are long, because it seems like I just have more and more meetings every day, working from home. It's a lot. But I think, I'm able to get up, I'm able to, go into my living room or work from the bedroom, wherever, all over the house. I think it's just caused me to be more organized. And being more, so I've organized my files on my laptop to getting rid of clutter and all of that stuff. And I think that has really helped me kind of clear the space, so to speak.
Yes.
And that I can focus. So when I think Jeanette, it was you that said we should do a podcast. I'm gonna see if I can find that video.
When it
she leaned in. There we go, Shauna. Oh, you can't see us, but we're gonna
my
see
favorite
if we get
emoji.
that. Jeanette was looking because I think I remember the day that you said it. I want to say it was like May 4th. I'm a dates person. You all will find that out.
I believe it was in May.
I was looking at the phone and I had the phone tilted on the couch, and Jeanette leans over and says, we should do a podcast. I was like,
at first I was like, is she serious?
I said, for real though? I was like, oh, okay.
You know me, I had to go into my prayer and meditation. Like, this is something I should be doing at this time.
See, I know that's Shauna. And me, I popped up with my country DC Jersey accent. For real though? That's how I was.
I was sitting there, I was like, man, we be talking about some good stuff. We should probably do. No, I'm not gonna say it. No, I'm gonna just say it. Look.
You brought it. You brought it that day. Yes.
Yeah, I think we shocked her. Because we came back within the next day. Or
it wasn't even, it was the same day.
It was the same day.
That's how fast my meditations are today, y'all.
Look, the same
I got my
day.
answer that day.
We had bought the domain by the end of the day.
We
By the
did.
next day, we bought the
I
domain.
think it was the next day because we went back and forth with
We were
all the
developing the
names. We
names.
had all the names, and oh man, that is, I forget what they call that name thing when you put all these names in a, I guess,
Association, like we were.
yeah, and then it popped, the biggest one kind of pops out of
Yeah.
the chart thing, and I can't remember what it is, but yeah, that, I mean, it just hit us, and we just knew that moment that this was going to be the heart of chat.
And then once we had a name, it was like, so we're gonna do, yeah, we're gonna do. Oh shoot, I'm gonna buy the domain right now.
Yeah, I know.
She was like, I have serious inquiries right here.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
Jeanette has really kept us together. I mean, as the
Oh,
kids used to
yes.
say, on fleek with their
Woo.
with our brands and keeping us up to date and all the
Yes.
tools, and yeah, I mean the tools are just wonderful. Jeanette, do you want to share some of the tools? I mean, it's a lot, I know,
So
but
I'm a
maybe one or
techie.
two
Yeah.
tool tips and techniques. I mean, I just love that, and the way you pulled us together from that perspective really
Yeah.
helped us increase our bond.
Yeah. No, well, they'll find out. But I love tech, all things
Hmm.
tech, and I'm the person that will try every new app that comes out. So yeah, but we started with Marco Polo, and then of course we got our domain. You know, I need some of these people to write me a check because I'm about to.
Doing
Yeah,
shout
no, yeah,
outs.
exactly.
Let
Yeah.
me find
Okay.
out.
It'll be in the show notes. Check us out, y'all.
Go daddy, holler at us.
Holla at your girls.
But Trello is like probably like the most where we're most organized right now, where we're managing like everything for the show and Trello. I love it. It's a great app. There's a couple other ones.
Slick.
I guess it just depends on like your personal needs and stuff. But yeah, that's the best one for us because you can access it on your phone, on the computer. Everyone can see and move things around. So it just really helps us stay accountable and on top of it. And Zoom, man, let me tell you, I love Zoom.
Yeah.
Should have bought some stock though, Lynda.
How about that? I know.
Yeah.
That's going to be one of the
Right
tips
before
on here. We're
quarantine.
going to be doing that. Yeah, for sure.
Lynda is our stock money lady. She's gonna have
I
us on
love
point.
it. I love it. And it's, yeah, I mean, Trello has been really, really great. I think we also do our mastermind in there as well. We moved that over. So
Yes.
having everything in one place has been really good. The heart of chat, our check-ins, our mastermind, and then we still do a daily check-in as well, which I think is great for accountability. If you're anything you're trying to do in your space, in your life, whether it's a dream you're chasing or something you think you want to do, it is so best to have someone, a partner, somebody to hold you accountable and vice versa.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have go ahead, Shauna, sorry.
I think you should have some fun together too. We're serial entrepreneurs, that's for sure. People always ask me, what do you do? I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm always coming up with something, trying to make some money.
Doing this.
Yeah, I know, Shauna. Yeah, you've been rocking. I'm probably the least experienced. I have a blog. I started with the blog, A Life with a View, and recently last year I still have the blog, but I also took it up a level, and now I have my own publishing company where I help people get self-published, their books, their writings, and so forth. So that has been going really well. I kicked it off last October with a wonderful coaching by Shauna Be Free Project, and also Jeanette redid my website. So it's been amazing. And I've done 2 photo sessions with Jeanette as well. So the pictures from the session we did a couple years ago on my site, and I just love it. So I've been doing that and just helping people. I'm learning a lot along the way. So I've been doing the publishing side for a little bit less than a year, and I will say during these last 3 months, being in quarantine again, I mean, people have just really said, hey, I'm really reflecting on my life. I want to do something. I want to put my story out there. And it's just been so cool. I have learned a lot in the tools, definitely, that Shauna and Jeanette have offered and said, hey, you could try this or try that. Here's you could do with your Instagram account, or why don't you try this new tool? I'm like, yeah. So I've been trying new things and also learning along the way. And as long as you're learning, you're continuing to grow.
And I will say that's Lynda's being modest, people, because the one thing she forgot to mention is Lynda is a 2-time author. Lynda has 2 books that she has published. This is why she is the expert for people to come to when they want to publish and self-publish.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
So Lynda's the modest one.
I appreciate that, but it's a lot. It's been fun. I mean, just being able to just be with people, whether on Zoom or and when I was doing in-person meetings. Since living here locally in DC, I did a couple of meetings in person with folks. That was sort of what I was doing. I didn't have the
Mhm.
online option to schedule a consultation, online. I just recently added that like a
That's
couple months
good.
ago. Yeah,
Wow.
so that I have the editing service on there now as well. And so, yeah, I love just being in person, but the connection, online connections are great too. So I've learned
Yeah,
to embrace that. So,
Definitely.
extroverted for the most part, introverted in some settings, and then I still have, my day job as well. And so just, balancing all that, but this really fuels me to keep going. And
yeah.
I absolutely just love it.
So, ladies, I know
Excellent.
we all have talked about, like, we have our own businesses
Hmm.
and what we're doing, and we know Shauna, that bug bit her years ago.
Yeah, I was a
How old is TJ? TJ just turned 31. Yeah, that part bit her like
Yeah.
yeah,
probably
single
when she
digit
was
age.
two. She was like
I
two.
yeah. Yeah,
So,
I first had I tell everyone my first business that was single digit. I had a recycle business with my sister. We took all our old toys and toys we didn't want anymore. We got a box. We put tied a string around it around our necks and walked the neighborhood and sold toys that we weren't attached to anymore.
Wow, look at
that is
that.
Saved our
so
Look
money.
at
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's
So
awesome.
when it comes, so we all, like we said, we all kind of met through like these different groups. And when it comes to like, so I know for me, like I started in corporate, Lynda, Shauna, what was that moment where you just knew like, I have to do this thing for myself, or that you needed something more than what you were kind of doing at the time? Like, was there a moment that clicked for you, like an aha moment or like an awakening? What was that for you? Either one of you.
I feel like for me, I don't know if it's an aha moment or more of a purpose. Like I was always
Mm,
driven um, to beat my own drum since I was a child.
yeah.
And um, my dad is an entrepreneur. He had his own taxidermy business. I had a lot of people in my family that had like their own thing going on. I have an uncle that has a karate school to this day.
What?
Yeah, I had
Mm,
a lot
cool.
a lot of people just went out and just trailblazed at times, every time in history of trying to start a business can be difficult. And so and I always think about my grandmother. So we talk about grandmas all the time, right? Like I'm not
Mm-hmm.
your grandma, but
Mm-hmm.
our grandparents, I know that Lynda and Jeanette, I know we talk a lot sometimes on Marco Polo. We bring up so many stories of when we were
Mm-hmm.
young. And I remember my grandmother, my dad's mom, she had 10 children. My dad's the oldest. I'm the oldest grandchild. And I looked at her as an entrepreneur, the way she ran her household. Because
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
she
mm,
taught each one of her children to teach each one of their children to, siblings. And I just remember just wanting to be creative, and I
Yeah.
was always a creative child, not in drawing, but I was a serious writer. So I
mm,
always wrote. I always had journals. I always had diaries,
Yeah.
and which is I have two children's books that I'm self-publishing currently right now, and I'm publishing a love story through Lynda's publishing
mm.
company, a love story
Yay.
based
Yay,
on my
yay.
last 24 years of love with my late husband. And so I've always been kind of like wanting to figure it out. The hard part is trying to figure out how to make money from your creativity, right?
Mm,
And then
Mm-hmm.
trying to take your experiences and try to develop ways. So I started in a classroom as a preschool teacher, I had my early childhood degree. I needed more. I needed to be able to reach the world. I needed to be
Yeah.
able to, you know what I mean? The classroom walls were too claustrophobic for me. So I had to
mm,
figure out how can I, reinvent myself, so to speak,
mhm,
in
mhm,
today's world, right? And I think really at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Taking what you're really good at, your passion, and keeping up with the times
Mm-hmm.
and reinventing yourself and figuring out how to fit it in and how, because at the end of the day, you're serving a need for people, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Your purpose is all about not serving yourself, but serving the needs of others. And in return, you would be, you know, given the lifestyle that you're trying to go after.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's what drives me. That's a very serious drive for me, and being a model, for my son, just
Mhm.
showing
Mhm.
him, because he's the same way. He's very creative and artistic. I come from a very artistic family too, so it's kind of hard to put us in a box.
Yeah.
And I speak Spanish, so my mother's family's from Puerto Rico. My mother's a New York Rican from the Bronx, so we got all this going on,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of hard to just be in a box. So I needed to
Mhm.
create my own platform before that word was even like a word that
Yeah.
we use it
Mhm.
loosely
Platform.
today.
Oh yeah, we
um
do.
and I used to always tell my
Mhm.
husband, I'm there's so many things I can do. Like, the world doesn't even know. I gotta get out here some kind of way, you know. And
And you
so,
are,
He
my
was
friend.
always a
thank
star.
you, thank you.
Star.
You
Always a
are.
Stava. Thank you. Yes,
That's
thank you.
amazing. That's amazing. And for me, I mean, wow. I mean, I've been writing since I can remember. I love to write, always have been. My family, pretty traditional family. I was kind of always like the one doing the upside down cartwheels where everybody else was walking straight, right? What are you doing now? My mom, even to this day, she said, "You used to love to talk and you still do. Maddie's going to be just like you." I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. So I just took to the paper. I started writing when I was 9. And then it's sort of, life kind of kicks in, you go along. And it wasn't until I was in my early 40s that I started the blog. And back then, that's like 7 years ago, I'm sitting around looking at everybody else. Everybody else is like 25 years younger than me, is doing this blog and influencer thing. I'm like, shoot, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to do this my way. So I kicked off my blog 7 years ago. I just started writing
Yay.
about things that were just important to me. And I think the aha moment for me was I went through a divorce back in 2012, and this is in my book, A Life with a View, my first book. And I think that just sort of just lit the fire in me, not in a negative way, but just, okay, I need to release. So my writing was more of a release.
Mm.
And knowing, having 2 young children and all that, I was like, how am I going to make it through? So I just started writing. And it was one weekend, first weekend in July in 2013. I was sitting on my friend's back porch, and I just bought the domain name right there. We were talking about some things that we were going through, and I bought the domain name and stood up and posted my very first blog post. I didn't worry about it looking pretty. I didn't. I,
Mhm.
I worried about it maybe more from the content, but I just opened up my heart and poured into that first writing.
Yeah.
And so then the writing just flowed. And I used those blog posts for, I guess, a couple years to turn it into my first book. So for me, I've been writing ever since. And then just meeting people along the way, everybody, when I posted my post, everybody started coming out of the woodwork. Oh my gosh, I want to tell my story too. And
Yeah.
I felt inside of me, I had to find a way to help these people,
Yeah.
because I wanted that. I wanted the same thing. I wanted
Yes.
people to, help me. I wanted to pass that along and help others. So that was sort of my aha moment. Like, yep, this is it. I'm going to do this. And then I decided later to turn the blog post into a book. And my second book is an expansion of the first one. So it's a series, A Life with a View, Inspiring Creative Passion. So it kind of takes it up a level.
Right.
And I just said, oh, I'm going to keep writing because I want to show people that there is, because they're still saying, oh, life after 40. Oh, please. I don't even feel like I'm the age that I am today. It doesn't even feel like it, but I have just really have met, you two great ladies along the way, a lot of connections. And I just remember going through that process 7 years ago. You're just in the, you're in a funk, you're in the clouds, all these different emotions, and I just let it pour out on paper. And I think for me,
Yeah.
that was what was my aha moment.
That's really awesome. Yeah, it's
Yes.
so funny. Our stories are very pretty similar.
Hmm.
I was that kid that had journals. My mom bought me stationery kits. I was always writing something, trying to figure out oh, I think I want to change my handwriting. I want it bubbly. I want it skinny. I was like that kid. Um, and I was creative in the sense of I was always trying to figure something out, change something around, flipping my room around. I think Lynda, you mentioned to us one time about Maddie drawing out her room. I was that
Hmm.
kid. I'm like, okay, how do I want to change my room around? Let me
Wow.
draw this out. This is how I want my
Hmm.
room. So, and my mom would always call me come help me organize my closet or help me do this. And I loved it. So I was just always trying to help people get organized and stuff. But I think for me, similar to Lynda, after my divorce, I'm remarried now, which I'm very happy about. But like
Yay.
after my divorce with my first husband, it was traumatic, and it was just like a lot going on, and I needed like a creative outlet. So I turned back to things that I did growing up, which was my grandma sewed, like she made clothes. I remember she made my aunt's wedding dress. She made my flower girl dress from the rest of the material from the wedding dress. So I started sewing. I went back to crocheting. My mom taught me when I was like 12, and I just needed something to do. And it kind of started from there. I was making handbags and scarves and stuff, which one day I'm gonna come back to my
Do you
handbag.
still crochet?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You know how to crochet? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. I'm not sure, but I believe Mercedes does too. We'll have to ask Carl.
Oh
Oh,
yeah. I can see
wonderful.
that in her too. I can see
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Because
But
my
yeah.
grandmother used to. My grandmother
That is
Yep.
cool.
she's the only one that picked it up. My sister and I couldn't get it. I
I
just couldn't
love
get
Yeah,
it.
Yep.
yeah. I
And it's
couldn't
something
either.
you could teach kids young. Like my
Mm-hmm.
mom taught me, I was like probably like 10, no, like 12, like 12 years old when my mom taught me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just needed like another outlet. And so I had moved to South Carolina from Philly right after I graduated high school. And then I left and went back to Philly in like 04. And so my divorce happened around the end of 2010. And 2011, I ended up moving back to South Carolina because I was like, I need to change. So I quit my 9 to 5. Like I had been working for 8 years, going up the corporate ladder. And
Mm.
I literally like gave them a 6 months notice, like, hey, I'm leaving. Y'all got to figure this out.
Oh, wow. Good for
Wow.
you. Good for you.
And I just took the leap and move. Everybody thought I
Mm-hmm.
was crazy. So I know Shauna said her parents were kind of more of an entrepreneurial spirit. I think Lynda, you told us before, like your dad had his
My
own
dad.
business.
Yeah, yeah.
And my
Yep.
parents were the 9 to 5. Just get good grades, get you a good job,
Mm-hmm.
and work.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hit nothing unless you work hard for it. And so for me to take that leap was scary, and it was just like, oh, what they gonna say? Because they probably think I'm crazy, and they're always supportive but practical at the same time. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like
Mm-hmm.
well, but you got some good bonuses. That was a good job. I was like, Mom, I know. The money was good.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I know. It's
it was about more than that. It was about my peace
the
and
freedom,
just the freedom. Yeah.
flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I needed that. And I had my oldest daughter when I was 17. So I'm now a mom of 6. But I had my oldest daughter when I was 17. And she was 15 at the time or not 15, she was 13, 14 when we were moving to South Carolina. And I was like, oh, I always told myself, well, when she goes to college, then, I can do whatever I want. I'm still going to be young, like,
Mm-hmm.
in my
Mm-hmm.
early 30s when she go to college. So, and then I, you know, got married, had 2 more kids, and gained 3 more lovely kids that I love. And
Yes, beautiful
That's awesome.
family.
Yes,
thank
yes.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I was sitting there like, so you gonna wait another 18 years to do
Right.
this again? And that's what I think it was for me. So I just started seeking out like, okay, I need people who are wanting the same things that I want. And I just started
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
doing the
Mm-hmm.
research. And then I just kind of allowed stuff to evolve. So I was sewing, and then I was like, oh, I need a good camera to take pictures of my stuff to put it on Etsy. And
Oh,
then
cool.
but I was always like, even back in like high school, I was the one that had the camera. I was the one bringing the little
Mm-hmm.
disposable camera to school, taking pictures of everybody. And then my love for photography grew, and it just kind of evolved. And I think that's the beauty in the process, is just allowing yourself to explore and like things to kind of unfold organically
Yes.
while you're intentionally taking steps in that
Mm-hmm.
direction. Like, I don't think there's no formula defining like what your purpose is. It's just kind of
Going with
unfolding.
the
Yeah,
flow.
it
Yeah.
is. It is. I love that, Jeanette. I mean, I'm just thinking about your photography alone. I mean, the
Uh,
way that your pictures on our sites. I mean, it's amazing. And it just, and this will be in the show notes, guys. I mean, just the work just jumps off the page. I mean, I can't
it's
tell you
beautiful
at
work.
least, I mean, I get a compliment at least once a week about, wow, your pictures, who did them? Where are they at? Da, 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 So it's amazing, amazing work. And life through art, I think, speaks to us all. And we are
Yeah.
all in some form of
Yes,
creativity, like Shauna mentioned earlier.
absolutely.
I think it's just the way we speak, the way we write, our pictures, what we're showing each other. I think
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
really, really amazing.
Yes.
It jumps right off the page.
What I love about today, ladies, with creativity too, and our audience too is, and we could honestly say back in the day for this one, back in the day, if you didn't know how to draw, you were not considered
A
creative
artist or
That's
or an
so
artist.
true.
Mm-hmm.
You were boxed. I know that
Mm-hmm.
for myself because my sister knew how to draw, but
Mm.
I didn't. But I was creating businesses,
Mm-hmm.
at single digit age. And to me, I thought that was like fantastic. But to the average adult, that was like, she's just playing,
Yeah,
she's
Right.
yeah.
pretending, she's
Exactly.
pretending to have a store,
Exactly.
And for
Exactly.
me, it was like, this is real. This is
She's
real.
so imaginative.
Yeah,
Like,
Yes,
right,
yes.
exactly. So I'm so ecstatic that we've come to the point where corporate is actually labeling people creators,
Mm-hmm.
social media strategists. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
I'm like, yes, finally, the
I
world has caught
know.
up with my brain and how
How
I
about
operate,
that?
how I think, And
Exactly.
I come up with the wildest things, and before quarantine, I had an online space that I created for moms, not knowing that moms was going to really need this at this
Mm-hmm.
time. And that's
Mm-hmm.
I have an online space called the Parenting Lounge.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a place that I was thinking of to have like a oasis type of me time space where moms can come together and share candid
Mhm.
conversations about their parenting journey, because every part about parenting journey is not pretty,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's hard to have a space where you're not judged and you can feel that you can be your authentic self and share the rawness and realness of what you love and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
don't love about parenting. And
Mhm.
it's been I launched it March 1st, and lo and behold, we got into this situation.
Yes, yes.
And it was good for the parenting lounge because the parents that were in there and parents that are still steady signing up and coming in, it's a membership site,
Mm-hmm.
are enjoying that space during this time, especially because it's at your fingertips. So you can get on there, on your cell
Mm-hmm.
phone too. And it's on a whole nother platform away from the regular social media. So
Yeah.
there's no noise.
Yeah,
It's on a
yeah.
network called Mighty Networks. We're giving out shout outs.
Yeah,
I
we are.
got it.
Shout out to every,
I'm
and
making a
you get a
list.
shout out, and
We
you
don't,
get a shout
yeah.
out.
That's right.
And then a follow-up contact call
I,
afterwards.
cut that
Exactly. How
check.
about
Cut
that?
that
Yes.
check. Let's do
Put
that.
that on
Yeah.
Trello, Jeanette. Get that on
Yeah.
that Trello joint.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, that's amazing, Shauna. I mean, yeah, I love Jeanette and I are both in the Parents Lounge, and we love it. I mean,
Thank
every
you.
Oh yeah.
Thank
every
you.
week it's like we got it. It's
Shout out to
already
the
all over.
ladies at the
Yeah,
parents'
and look,
lounge.
Shauna, on Mother's Day, we were in the
Oh
smack of
yeah, I wanted
quarantine.
to cancel
Jeanette,
it.
I mean, Shauna tried to cancel it. We were like, excuse
Well,
me,
no, what? No,
where
remember,
we
remember,
going?
she's talking about it's Mother's Day. We was like,
Girl,
oh,
ain't this the Parenting
Everybody,
Lounge?
everybody
right.
said, "Where are we going?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh yeah, that's
ain't
right."
nobody going nowhere.
Right. I'm thinking everybody's gonna go out to dinner and stuff, So
Girl, mm-mm.
we have face-to-face lives, and which is through Zoom, and it's weekly, and then we have monthly special guests. And
Yes.
oh my goodness, our
Game
guests for
bang.
June, can we
Oh,
just say Island
yes.
Beats?
Oh,
So so
mm.
Zoe and
not
Iris.
Zoe and
yes.
Iris. Tum, tum, tum.
So one of the things I want to mention too is it's fun to be with like-minded people on and
Yeah.
offline, right?
Mhm.
And we are all serial entrepreneurs, we're all
Yes.
creators, and we're all trying to figure this thing out called life together, this human
Mhm.
spirit together. At the same time, I think it's important to have fun together too.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So
Mhm.
we signed up for Island Beats, which we will be going to pretty soon this
Yes.
morning. So very early class.
Yeah.
And we get to work out together every week, not only talk
Mhm.
about our business goals and life purpose and trying to
Mhm.
figure out, all of the things we believe in, value, and having fun too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, lots and lots of fun. Love that class. Shout out to Zoe and Iris for sure.
Yes,
Island Beats.
yes.
Island
Yes.
Beats.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, I think each week our goal also for our listeners is to take away. What's an action item? Something actionable that you can do. Things that we shared a lot here about our brands, about our life
Mhm.
experiences, and I guess if you wanted to share something with the listeners, Jeanette and Shauna, whoever wants to go first. I mean, what would be one thing, an actionable step that folks could take?
So for me, I would say, especially when it comes to just trying to if you're in a place where you're just like unhappy in a 9 to 5 or with whatever you're doing in life and you're ready for a change, I think journaling, getting around people who are in the place where you want to be and in that same mindset, and just being open to the change and the process. It's not going to happen overnight, but I would just say, write. Find you a group of women who support you. We have our friends. I love all my friends. Thank y'all. They're 100% supportive, but they definitely think that I'm a weirdo sometimes, and that's okay. So I found two other lovely ladies who are on the same vibe and energy when it comes to stuff like that. And yeah, be open to making friends as an adult. Please.
Oh, that's a word right there and a whole topic. Yes.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
have to come back to that one.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Shauna?
I would say take small steps, take small bites. I think that we put too much on our plate every day. I speak to families all the time. We get so wrapped up on this to-do list. So say, say you want to learn how to blog, it's okay if you don't have to jump out there and start blogging right away. You can start writing in your journal or in your notebook some thoughts or some
Yes.
things that you want to think about writing about, and then have those things ready so that when you're ready to get the platform, you can, put it on there. Take small steps, but be consistent.
Yes.
You got
Yes,
to be
That's the
consistent.
hard part. That's the hard
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, take small
mm-hmm,
steps, be consistent. My biggest thing is what Jeanette said, and it's all about energy for me, is
mm-hmm.
positive vibes. So you want people around you that want to see you succeed in what you want to do. And if it has to be online people that you've never met before, I had 2 online coaches in London, and I just met them this past year. And I've
Yeah.
been coaching with them for 3 years, and they
Yeah.
support everything that I do. So if you have to go out and find just online friends that want to support your dream or your vision, that's what you do.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yep.
It's your life purpose and it's your life journey. That's why it's
hmm
called yours.
Right.
So,
Exactly. And I'll just touch on what Shauna and Jeanette just said. I mean, find your tribe, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, just be open to it. Be open to the things. Follow your dreams. I mean, dream of, standing up a website and writing books has always been a dream. Take the small steps to get there. Find people who are like-minded, who are in your space, and maybe they're not in your space yet, but you want to get to them. Find a way to get there. Take the
yes.
Mhm.
classes. And a lot of stuff is like online now is like free. You can find a lot of, ask
Yes.
someone, reach out to someone,
Mhm.
follow us at the Heart of Chat. And we have
Mhm.
a lot of people that are following us now. And then from there, our brand branches out from there. So we have our own brands as well. Reach out, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I know
Yeah.
sometimes a lot of people are afraid to do that, but
Yes.
just ask. Look, I don't know how to set up this blog, or I'm struggling here. I guarantee you, of the 3 of us, we're going to know somebody that knows how to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
This
let's,
is the age of information. Let
hmm
me tell you something. You
It
can find it
is.
all. YouTube
yes,
It
University
is.
yes,
is like
yes,
they
No
yeah, a
have
more
whole university.
excuses.
everything.
No
No more
excuses
excuses.
today. No
That's true.
Exactly.
excuses.
Yep, yep,
That's the first action. No, make no excuses and just go for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just do
yeah,
it.
for
This has
sure, for
been
sure.
so amazing, ladies. I'm so excited.
Thank
Yes, yes,
you. Got
thank
our
you,
first
ladies.
one,
I
our
know this has
first
been
episode.
awesome. Thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness. Any final remarks, ladies?
Shauna, you want to take that one this week?
Yes, yes, I'm going to take that one this week. So, first of all, we just want to thank you for joining us today. Thank you for listening. And we want to let you know where you can follow us at. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Heart of Chat. We also have a website online called The Heart of Chat. And today's show notes will be on our site. We hope you join us again next week and every Monday for another Meatful Monday, because it's going to be
Mm.
fuego, baby. Come back.
Woo! Pew, pew, yay! Thank you, ladies.
Look, my West Indian.
I
All these
love
sound
that.
effects.
I
Thanks,
know.
ladies.
Thank you,
Thank you.
ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.